What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Into My GT Entertainment, and I am Joel in the kitchen. Yes, I am in the kitchen, but I'm not eating. I just starting in a different way today. It is going to be roughly 100 degrees outside, so I am going to do some inside work. So I have the garage cooling off, and I will explain after the intro, of course, what we will be doing today. On my last recent video, I explained all the stuff I have laying around for Neptune. So we're going to install one of those pieces today. I'm going to go ahead, unpack and install the JLT intakes. As you can see over here, I'm doing most of the filming in the house till I get out there because the LED lights tend to mess with the picture. But as you can see, the black line is already there, just getting this close. The engine compartment is now open. The garage is a nice 75 degrees right now. And we're gonna go ahead and get that stuff started. So, with that being said, come take this little journey with me and let's get things unpacked. Alright everybody, I have everything unboxed and I'm going to show you what comes in this kit. But of course, I have my supervisor with me today. You say hi, Truffles. Huh? You say hi today. What are you looking at? You're looking at the string on the thing, aren't you? Yeah, he's up to something. Look at that. Look at that fish. Oh. That's right. Anyway, enough of the cat. This is what came with the kit. You have your two air intake boxes, which I'm kind of happy with these because if you've ever had to put these rubber seals on, it's a pain in the ass. They come already put on there for you. So that is one thing. Thank you, JLT, for that. You get your two filters, your inlet tubes, your connections, your clamps, and the extensions that go on the ends to connect to the snouts in the front. You get your other hardware right here, which consists of the map sensors right there, the hardware to connect to, and the tubes that go off to the side for your hosing for your crank. So everything is installed here, and of course instructions. Oh look, the instructions. Go to that website, that'll give you the instructions. But I want to try to simplify it today and do it for you. So let me figure out what I need to get going, what I need to take off, figure out the parts, and then I'll get back with you in a second. Alright, so this is what it looks like before we do any work. You have to remember, this is the factory setup, and here you have carbon traps in both of these, which I don't know if they decided that, hey, they take away, hey, they add, whatever. The new ones will not have the carbon traps, but at least keep the factory ones intact if we ever need them. So all this is coming out. These are coming out. That bolt has to come up to release that on both sides. The air boxes have to be opened, and those have to be removed. We're going to have to move this over to here while we pull this out. I'll show you how to do that shortly. And then kind of, if anybody's ever done an intake, it's kind of the same procedure. You just have to do it on two sides versus one. So let me go ahead and start tearing it down a little bit, and we'll get going. Alright, and these are the tools that we're going to need. An extension with a 10mm, an extension with a 7mm, a flat head, Phillips head, a T20 Torx head, and then your weapon of choice. I do use my impact. I know how my tools work. If not, you can use a ratchet set and it'll work the same way. So we're going to come back over here and we're going to start dismantling some of this stuff. The easy stuff like this that needs to come off, it's just a push. You push it in and then you pop it out. Same on this side. You got to find the connection on it. It's right here, and you pop it out. So that is the easy part right there. Those are done. We're going to go ahead and take off the air mass meters. You pop the clip up and then push those out. Sometimes easier said than done, but there you go. And then over here, same deal. And those are out. Now, I didn't get it, but I need to get it, so let me show you what I'm talking about. You will also need a flathead screwdriver or a pop tool to take off that one right there and that one right there. And then you can see they come off right there, and that won't be used anymore. There's no way to connect it back in to anything once this comes out. But again, I'm saving all this stuff, so never know if it's ever gonna be back in use. All right, after getting all that disconnected, we're gonna go ahead and take the bands off now, or at least loosen them up. We'll tighten them down in my aspect. There we go, we got that one loose. We got that one loose. And I believe that is all for right this minute. We'll get into the other ones here shortly, but we got those loosened up. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the lids off of here and see what we got going on there. Once you get the lids off, you can go ahead and unscrew the filters from there. And if you don't want to, you can leave them on there and you can just pack it away that way. Either way, it gives you an option. Okay, so you need to get to this 10mm screw right here to pop it out, to pop out your air filter. You can actually leave everything together if you want, and then that way it all comes up as one unit. Again, it's up to you what your end game is with it. But you have a lever in here that you push forward, right there. You push it forward and it releases what you had here. And you just want to get that out your way because it's going to make it easier to get this box out in a minute. All right, now I got that out. You want to try to make sure if you're doing a ratchet, you do not hit that while you're ratcheting. That is the main power source to your car. Everything goes to it. So you don't want to have a bad day, right? So no popping fuses, whatever. So that is the only bolt you have to take off. Now you have a decision to make. Do you want to do this in pieces or do you want to do it in a whole piece? Because now you're taking out the whole entire piece, the tubing in here and everything. So you can do it in pieces part, so you can undo this from here and have that as a piece and then work on the box by itself, or you can try and muscle it out with the whole thing together. That option's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and undo it and then do the box separate. And see, you got that out now, and now you can work on the box itself and not have to worry about, you know, trying to finagle this whole thing with that box. Alright, as you see, the box is now out, and I will show you some of the parts that need to be moved back from the box to the new box. So we'll have to, so don't throw away anything. You're going to need some stuff. So rinse and repeat, do the same thing on this side. Already loosened, undo this to take the whole filter out, and then you have this 10mm here that you have to undo to pop this box out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And then there you go, getting that out. It was pretty simple. This side's the easier side because you do not have the fuse box in your way. And then you'll see with the install, this will probably be the easier side to do too, because again, you have to slip it back in and then you have to get it back under the box itself. So we're gonna go ahead and play with it and see what we got. So on to the next step. Alrighty people, so now we're going to go ahead and start building these boxes. Box and air filter. So this is the driver's side, as you can tell by the way that the filter in the box will sit. This goes in like this. And then the other one is obviously the passenger side. Will sit this way. And then again with the stuff. Now in the directions it shows you putting this on, but obviously maybe the kit itself has been updated and they do it at the factory now, so you don't have to mess with that. So that'll save you a little bit of time there. So we're going to go ahead and throw the filter in there and I'll show you what we need to do. All right everybody, Joel sitting in the style. Time to do some installation here. So with these particular boxes, you need to feed the filters from the inside and pop them out as such. They will not fit this way, so you would need to come from the inside out. You want to take off the band of it right here, because that's going to be on the outside of this. It may travel through it if you do leave it on, but just for safety's sake, I went ahead and took that off, and then I will reattach it on the outside. So let me go ahead and put one of these in for you. All right, there you go guys. So as you see, they're in there and they will latch in to the outside of the rim here. So they will seal themselves, and then the bands are when you add the tubing to it. As you see, this side also is on there pretty tight. So we'll go on to the next step. All right, so the very next thing that we need to do is put in the little, I call them the nozzles, or you know, inlet tube spacers, whatever you want to call them. They need to go on next, and when that gets put on, then you need to remove your air mass meters and transfer them over to the new tubes. So we'll get that part started here now. All right, what you got to do next is take out the air mass meter in here and put it in here. Now with their kit, it comes with a sponge and a little spacer here that you want to put in the right area, and then transfer that to over here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Now you can see that this one has a T20 bits. They bring Phillips head screwdriver heads instead to put on the JLT. So that's what we'll be doing. Once that is removed and installed here, as you can see, and there is an arrow on the air mass meter of how it's flowing. So you just want to make sure you kind of follow that direction to back to the intake. So this actually sits in this direction like this. So actually, nope, I'm lying. It sits this way. So just want to make sure that you got the right stuff going on. I did fail to mention, when putting the stuff on the tubes, you have two size breathers here. You got a bigger one and a smaller one. They only go on the one they're supposed to, so it's easy to figure out. But you don't need to tighten it all the way into it. You just need it to get snug. You don't want to over tighten it and then strip out your stuff, and that's a whole different bad day. So you just want to get it down into where it's snug, and you're good to go. Only air is going through there. As long as it's just no leak, you should be good to go there. So this one was this one, the smaller one was on that one right there. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer this over. It's going to be the same process, and then we'll get into putting the boxes in the car. All right, so after fighting this side in, this side's always going to be a fight, no matter what. No matter which ones I've done, it's been this side, and it's just because the fuse box, you have to get everything to tuck under there but connect back under here where the inlet is. So you need to make sure you get it all in there. It's a little bit of a struggle, but if you kind of have to move this up a little bit, and then it'll set into place. And then don't forget to put your relay back where it belongs. Got your screw in there, so now the box is in there. So this side is ready to put the inlet tube back in. So we're going to go ahead and get that put in. I got my bands on both sides. They're all loose, so they should be able to fall right into place. All right, everybody, so we got one side in. It's up in there and sturdy. Like I said, I wanted to make sure that it doesn't cause any other issues. It's very tight. That worm clamp is very tight, so you're gonna have to kind of fiddle around with it a little bit, or maybe the kit I got is just a little jacked, I don't know. But that clamp was so hard, I had to undo it, put it on the pipe, redo it just a little bit, and then slide it over. So it's not going anywhere, but like I said, it's a little creative accounting, I guess you would say, with that one. So we'll go ahead and get the other one in. All right, so now we got the other side in. Let me go back to that worm clamp. Now with the kit, they come with two of them. One that came with the filters, and then one that came with the kit. So what I'm assuming is the one that came with the kit are bigger, because I swapped those around and it fit on there perfect. The other one, I guess if you got the filters and you wanted to put them on your factory setup, that's why those are smaller. Note to self, we learned something new today, right? So when you get this kit, you're going to have a set that come with the filter, and you'll have a set that came with the kit. Use the kit ones because those are the ones that work out. Note to self, sharing's caring. Now you know. So with that being said, stand by 1 second. With that being said, everything else fell into place pretty easy. You still have a little bit of pain in the butt over here, just to get this in here with all this going on. But after you get past that, this side was a breeze. This side was no issue at all. But yeah, that's the way it looks right now. You got the JLTs showing in the front, so we're going to go ahead and give her a little test drive, see if it makes any sound noises or differences, or, you know, it's just a interior exterior modification for a look, you know. But we'll go ahead and get our stuff cleaned up, and we'll take it out for a spin. And just to let y'all know, this is you didn't have to tune these to get these to work. You can tune them, but these are, you know, factory sized. So the good part is you get rid of that carbon trap now, and if you ever want to put it back and you're worried, you got them on your factory ones. So again, give me a second to clean up, and then we'll go ahead and take this for a spin. Little surprise gift that just came in today. When I went to throw out the trash, I saw this sitting on my porch. Wonder what it could be. Let's take a look. Well, what came in that little box was the new nameplate for the car. There it is. Neptune FX Mustang GT. So that is now installed also. Thanks for the guys at Anchor Room for getting that up here pretty quickly. Trying to figure out how I wanted it, and I think it turned out pretty good. So let's go drive this thing. Well, everybody, that is the installation and video for today. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Again, it's something kind of simple to do. Anybody can pretty much do it in a couple hours. Sometimes the directions are a little off, and then that's why there's people like me to kind of work you through it, and then sometimes we confuse it even more. So, you know, it is what it is. But this is the finished product right here. It is the Jlt Cold Air Intake with open air boxes. They seal up to the top of the car with no issues. And then again, we had a little bonus feature come in with the Neptune plate. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, I enjoy doing these little videos like this, and like I said, there'll be more to come. So we will catch you on the next video.